Hello, Deacon Eric here. Got my coffee lid open. Yeah. Ain't nothing better than black coffee and a pipe of tobacco. I like it. I'm smoking some Peterson Old Dublin. So it's got some Latakia, some Golden Virginia, some Black Cavendish, some Greek, some Oriental. I just opened it last night and it's pretty good. It's a little too moist, but it's already starting to dry out a little bit and get more flavor, and maybe it'll smoke a little bit easier. It's always hard to keep the pipe going while you're talking. But enjoying it in my Peterson Christmas pipe. Pretty little rusticated pipe. Well, it's been a minute. I think I've actually talked about this, but came up in a conversation with somebody and it made me want to read it to you and just talk about it. I'm reading from Kahlil Gibran, the prophet. So Kahlil Gibran was a Lebanese Christian of some flavor, some kind of Syrian Orthodox maybe or something, back at the turn of the 20th century, so over 100 years ago. Something like that, I believe. He's around that time. And he might have had some strange notions about some things, but this book I've always come back to it. There's just a couple that these stanzas that are just, man, I don't know, they really hit home. And he's writing it as if this prophet has been living in this foreign land and he's about to leave, and people finally are like, they haven't talked to him, now they want to see what he has to say right before he's leaving. So they ask him questions, and then he kind of gives a poetic, meaningful answer. Then a mason came forth and said, a stonemason, "Speak to us of houses." And he answered and said, "Build of your imaginings a bower in the wilderness, ere you build a house within the city walls. For even as you have homecomings in your twilight, so has the wanderer in you, the ever distant and alone. Your house is your larger body," right? Your house is like an extension of you. It grows in the sun and sleeps in the stillness of the night, and it is not dreamless. Does not your house dream, and dreaming leave the city for grove or hilltop? Would that I could gather your houses into my hand, and like a sower scatter them in forest and meadow. Would the valleys were your streets, and the green paths your alleys, that you might seek one another through vineyards, and come with the fragrance of the earth in your garments. But these things are not yet to be. In their fear, your forefathers gathered you too near together, and that fear shall endure a little longer. A little longer shall your city walls separate your hearths from your fields. And tell me, people of Verily, that's this fictional city that the prophet's in, What have you in these houses? And what is it you guard with fastened doors? Have you peace, the quiet urge that reveals your power? Have you remembrances, the glimmering arches that span the summits of the mind? Have you beauty that leads the heart from things fashioned of wood and stone to the holy mountain? And that's Zion. Tell me, have you these in your houses? Or have you only comfort and the lust for comfort, that stealthy thing that enters the house a guest and then becomes a host and then a master? Aye, and it becomes a tamer, and with hook and scourge it makes puppets of your larger desires. Though its hands are silken, its heart is of iron. It lulls you to sleep only to stand by your bed and jeer at the dignity of the flesh. It makes mock of your sound senses and lays them in thistledown like fragile vessels. Verily, the lust for comfort murders the passion of the soul and then walks grinning in the funeral. But you, children of space, you restless in rest, you shall not be trapped nor tamed. Your house shall be not an anchor, but a mast. It shall be a glistening film that covers a wound. It shall not be a glistening film that covers a wound, but an eyelid that guards the eye. You shall not fold your wings that you may pass through doors, nor bend your heads that they strike not against a ceiling, nor fear to breathe lest walls should crack and fall down. You shall not dwell in tombs made by the dead for the living. And though of magnificence and splendor, your house shall not hold your secret, nor shelter your longing. For that which is boundless in you abides in the mansion of the sky, New Jerusalem, whose door is the morning mist, and whose windows are the songs and the silences of night. The lust for comfort murders the passion of the soul, and then walks a grinning in the funeral. Sit with that for a minute. Just think about what motivates you in life. The money you're trying to make, the house you're trying to have, the car you're trying to have, right? What are you aiming at? Comfort? Are you? To have a comfortable retirement, so to speak, even? To just cruise on, to save enough money so that you can just hit cruise control and have fun. And there's nothing wrong with fun. It's not what he's saying. But what is your hope and joy wrapped up in? Is it the idea of comfort? Do you want to be comfortable? And there's times it's okay to be comfortable. But we need to be honest about our culture. We are entrapped by a lust for comfort. Right? I mean, that's what all these people they want to be this, that, or the other. You know, it's instead of being rugged individuals anymore, we're individualistic and hyper prideful, right? We have a whole movement called Pride, and it's pride and perversity, and we're broken people, But we want you to affirm our brokenness so that we feel nice, right? You're going to jail now in England because you offend somebody. But if you say the government's offending me by not just accepting my opinion as just my opinion, and I need to have free speech and just say what I feel like saying without getting arrested, well, that offends me. So you should arrest those people. No, it's only groups that aren't Christian. All right? That don't have a certain political persuasion. Some people try to make it about if they're white, if it's about them hating white people and white people hating brown people. But I don't think that's what it's really about. There's certainly people who think that are going that way, and there's certain people on the left side of the aisle that are actually into eugenics and would like to see all the minorities taken out. But why? Why are they into eugenics? Because they want to be comfortable. That's what I'm theorizing. They want comfort. They think all the riches and comforts of this life is a zero-sum game, and they got to have them and make sure other people don't. But whatever is going on in politics and elites and different stuff, that's one thing. That's neither here nor there. Nothing you can do about it for the most part. But I can deal with my own lust for comfort. What am I aiming at? Am I aiming at comfort? Or am I aiming at a life that has meaning, a life that helps other people, right? Am I aiming to be a better human being, to be one that expresses the image of the everlasting God? See, we were made in the image, but we've got to, Christ says, in order to get back to that, to restore that, you got to die to self. You got to take up your cross and let your flesh die so that you might live. You think you know what living is, but if it's comfort and stuff and reputation and people liking you and having all the things you want and not having anybody contradict what you think and say, and you never get tested, that's a sad sort of existence. And we don't think about the stories we like, the movies we watch. What do we want to watch? We want to watch the hero go on a journey where they come and they become something else. They become something greater than they were before. We want to see them overcome challenges and win the day. But we can't live vicariously through movies and video games and even books. It needs to do something in our own. It's okay for those things. Let them inspire you. Think about them. It's good to have heroes, father figures, mother figures. Those are good. But it's okay to have people in stories and movies that you look up to. Like, I want to be something. There's something about that I want to be like. That means you got to get out and do it. Right? Got to get out and live for other people. Figure out what Jesus is all about. what He's doing in the earth, what He's doing in your town, what He's doing on your street. And I don't perfectly do that, but I'd like to think I'm trying. We'll see. Lord, deliver me of the lust of comfort and give me a longing for truth and beauty and righteousness and goodness and mercy. I want to be Christ-like. I want to be near to Jesus. I want to know Jesus intimately. And I want to be able to lift up my fellow man. I don't want to live for myself. Amen. Amen. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May He shine His face upon you. May He give you His rest. Yeah.